Brosplay.
Welcome back to the final showdown.
It's the final showdown. Is that two different songs?
Yeah, that was the final countdown. I believe. I don't know if it was the final showdown. No, it's the ultimate showdown. That was, yeah. It's the ultimate showdown of ultimate destiny.
That's, bad guys, good guys, bad guys, and explosions. As far as the eye can see, and only one will survive. I remember I used to be able to sing the whole thing. Oh yeah, there's music on too.
Yeah. See, I find a lot of the time the best way for you to actually end up memorizing some sort of song is when it is from something like that. Like it's part of a comedy or part of, like, Tenacious D's songs, I know forward and backwards.
Mm-hmm.
And all of them. I could sing that entire movie to you right now. Just because there's a mix of music I like and comedy I think is funny. So there's just such a motivation for me to remember those words.
Sorry, have you heard Julian Smith's I Want to Be a Black Guy?
No, I don't think I have. I haven't seen him in a long time, actually.
He's still going. He did commercial directing and really enjoyed it, and it led to him not doing nearly as much YouTube content. He actually made an apology video recently about that. He did it in his own Julian Smith style, so it wasn't like, hey everyone, I just want to apologize. It was more like, hi, yeah, I haven't been doing stuff, don't blame me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he doesn't have to apologize, because that's just how it goes.
He said, like, I've been doing what I want, and I've been enjoying it, and I'm sorry that I haven't been doing as much YouTube stuff, and now I'm gonna do more YouTube stuff. And he has. He's followed through on what he had to say, which is cool.
Yeah, well, that's the important thing. I mean, if he wants to be done with YouTube, then he can be done with YouTube.
Yeah.
But if you say you're gonna keep doing it, you should also do that.
Yeah. The same way no one owes us. We don't owe the viewer episodes, and they don't owe us shit. If you want to donate, we got a Patreon page. That would be helpful. But the show is really about our love of sharing and enjoying video games together. That's really what it's all about.
I think actually you even had it perfectly at the beginning. Our love of sharing everything, even. I mean, as much as this is very video game centric, and we talk about a lot of video game concepts too, half the stuff we talk about isn't even related to video games.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually been one of our challenges when it comes to just like generating, what we want the channel to be called. It's like, well, what do we even do? It's hard to put a word on exactly what it is. It's Let's Playing, I would like to say, but it's definitely got a lot of other elements.
What do we even do games?
What are you guys even here for? You guys are some Let's Playing motherfuckers, that's for sure.
Some sort of liberal video game player.
Do you even know what a Let's Play is?
I don't like it when people the whole labeling thing bothers me, and I know how generic that sounds, but it's like when someone's like, oh, so you're a conservative, like, oh, so you're a liberal. I'm not in any of the parties. I think the party system in itself is kind of anti-progression. When we've got a system where we're trying to make a better country, and you've got a bunch of groups who are trying to win, automatically you have this huge chance of it not being about the best decision, but rather winning.
Well, I've always had this big question about why the person's party is relevant to the point.
Yeah.
Like, let's say I'm listening to Bernie Sanders, and he's making a point, and someone says, is he a conservative or a Democrat? Or, sorry, is he a Republican or a Democrat? And in my opinion, if it doesn't come through in what he's saying, like, if he starts talking and I go, man, this guy's definitely a Republican, then it's valid, then it's applicable and valid. But if I can't tell from what he's saying, then his message is unrelated to his affiliation.
Boy, Brosplay's getting
political
yeah. Today.
Well, one thing I noticed was kind of...
What's your real opinion on Paul, what is his name? Rand Paul?
Rand Paul?
Rand Paul.
I just think he has the best name.
He does. Other than, wasn't there was a funnier... Deez Nutz. I think Deez Nutz for president is...
Yeah, well, Deez Nutz had a lot of the vote for a while. I think it was like 16% for a little while there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one thing I've noticed is the two-party system. You have the Democrats and the Republicans, and if you look at their I guess icons. Must be icons is the best term. If you go and just look them up on Google, the two things that'll come up are a donkey for Democrat, I believe, and an elephant for Republican. Now, I know it's those two animals, and I'm just fairly sure that that's how they go. And both of them, if you look at it, they're made of white, blue, and red, which are the colors of the states. Mm-hmm. However, when you look at them next to a state's flag, it's kind of weird because in the state's flag, it has equal amounts of white and red, and then a smaller amount of blue with some white in it. But then you look at the symbols for the parties, and they have the same coloring as the Confederate flag, where it's all blue and red, with some white just to border and make, highlights.
Right.
So rather than, their parties, even though they're supposed to be opposites, have the same, they have basically the same symbol, just with a different animal, and even designed in the same method, with the same color scheme, which I think is kind of bizarre. Yeah, and all based off the Confederate flag.
Yeah. I thought for a long time the Union Jack was specific to a country, but I don't think it is.
Okay.
Pretty sure it's like a combination of several countries.
Yes, it is, but it's both actually.
Oh, okay.
So it's the Union Jack. I'm fairly certain. I actually should be looking this up as I'm saying it, if that's why I'm going slowly. But the Union Jack is the flag of Great Britain. And the reason it's called the Union Jack, I don't know if this is, of the United Kingdoms.
Oh.
And you're right, it's actually the mixture of many different flags that were simply superimposed over top of each other when all of those different countries sort of I don't know if it was countries amalgamating, or, I believe it was. I believe that it was, God, I really should not even start talking about the British Isles, because I always see, posts that try and help you figure out which parts are which, and I never remember any of it. There's just so many places in the British Isles.
Yeah, and there's a lot of YouTubers from the UK, so we don't want them to be...
Well, yeah, I don't want to say anything I don't understand, but when the United Kingdoms was formed, they took the flags of the subsidiaries and unioned them to get their own flag.
Do you know Total Biscuit?
YouTuber?
Yeah.
No.
He's been around for a long time. One of the earliest of the Let's Player reviewer guys. You've probably seen one of his review shows. It's called WTF, and then whatever the name of the game is. So WTF is Shovel Knight. And then it's just it's like a Let's Play review. So he's already played the game, but he's gonna play it and talk about it while he plays it.
That's actually a really good idea, because you get a mixture of both things.
Yeah, it was something I think I tried really early on in the days of the thing. I love how Tinker Knight's I've changed the thing. He doesn't change shit.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask. Nothing about this fight is any different.
But anyway, Total Biscuit also has a... he'll rant about something, and then however long the video goes, so if it's 22 minutes, he'll title the video, I will now talk about this for the next 22 minutes. And so I'm just thinking, we're sitting here talking about the Union Jack, and it's just I will now talk about the Brosplay, not understanding the Union Jack for about 27 minutes. Careful now, brother. We wouldn't want an entire video of Total Biscuit about us, because it's usually a serious problem. He usually doesn't talk about... Actually, you know what? I shouldn't say that. Here I am talking about saying stuff that we don't know about. Maybe he does have videos where he talks about positivity stuff. I know it'd be really cool to have
I feel
Jim Sterling talked about us. That'd be super cool.
I feel like being talked about by anyone in sort of any light would be cool, just because they're recognizing us, or sort of validating our presence on YouTube in a way.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're validating it with their own presence. So obviously, if they have the same number of subscribers as us and they're just throwing hate at us, I'm not gonna feel good about that.
Well, it's like a country. In order to be a country, you have to be recognized by a country.
Yeah, no, that's actually a really good point. Other countries recognize you into being a country.
Yeah, if we want to be a big YouTuber, we gotta get recognized by the other big YouTubers.
Yeah, not that that's something we're specifically going.
No, I don't think we're ready for big YouTube status yet.
Oh, definitely not yet. But what I mean is, it's not that's not why we're making the channel, but it's something that I would love to be able to do with it.
Me too. So they've all fallen in order, and they're now holding on just by dear life. And this is you.
Okay. We're starting with the king. Give us a hand, Shovel Knight. You wouldn't leave us hanging here, would you?
Oh, I like the pause on the would you art. That's nice. All right, see you guys. Whoop, whoop, whip,
Oh,
whoop,
wow.
Whoop, 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 whoop. I removed what's his name's coat. look, Inspector Knight's got no coat.
What?
Yeah.
He doesn't even have arms.
I didn't want to. No, he's got his arms are crossed. But
Okay.
I didn't want to interrupt you. You were talking when I defeated him, but his coat or his what's it just got blown right off in his death animation.
That's funny, and I guess it just doesn't come back. So wait, can
Yeah.
you just leave a couple of them?
Yeah, I think so. I don't
that'd
think
be
it
so
doesn't really matter.
ruthless.
Yeah. So we don't want to start it yet, but we still have about 30 seconds.
Oh, let's go back to the start. Go back to the very beginning of the game. There was something I actually really wanted to talk about in the main map.
We
so-
might have to fight something. Good.
Okay, so there was
Yep.
clouds that covered everything from the blimp over. And then once we defeated this nice grassy knoll area, we moved over to go into where the town is. Now we have this, like, volcanic sort of, like, waste area. And then we go into this glacier cold space that's, like, still a desert when you think about it. Just a desert of the opposite type.
Mm-hmm.
And the environment just keeps getting progressively worse. And now we go into this, like, black charcoal acid rain castle to finish it off. I just think it's really cool how the map feels like it's progressing, just visually.
Yeah. I want to check something. I wonder. Okay. The sun. There's actually the sun is in the pane over here.
Oh, there's no sun over there. Yeah, it doesn't actually move.
Yeah. I like that. Oh, I really like that.
Huh.
There's something I meant to mention, and then now it's over. But there was a really cool animation in the window. Oh, wasn't it the beginning of the episode? Is this where it starts? No. Okay. Yeah. Okay, it works. Look at how they animated the rain in the window.
Oh. Yeah, because I always
It's
notice the windows
so-
look different.
It's so simple. It is so, like it's more complicated when you see all of it, but when there's only a few things, you realize how simple it was. It's just a series of lights. It's basically like a Christmas tree light setup.
Yeah, and it's just flickering. That's all it's doing.
Yeah.
Same with the... Notice how the actual torches, even though for some reason both the torch light and flame and everything is all blue, but all the flame is doing is getting 1 pixel bigger, 1 pixel smaller. Same with the lines.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for joining us in our extended little detailed look before we go to defeat the shit out of the Enchantress.
It's Shovel 30.
It certainly is, brother.
It's shovel time.
It's shoveling time.
Nice.
We gotta use those sound bites for something.
That was good.